Number 46. Number 9. The screen is visible or not?
Hello.
Please respond. My screen is visible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear?
Visible out.
So let's see. Yesterday I was told to you that we have one program on generics. How to these generics we are going to be implement in Java program. So yesterday, due to the network, we are unable to show this one. Today, I am going to be show this. See here. So we have a generic class, and we have some public static, and this is the generic type. E is called here. What is the E? The naming conversions. Yesterday we saw about. No. What is the meaning called naming conversion? We are giving some specific alphabet. That is a alphabet in capital letter. So that is E is here is elements only. E is elements. But we are mentioning here loop. So E element input array we are going to be printed. So system.out.print we are going to be. So this is our main public static void main. And you see here we are mentioning integer capital INTER. What is this capital INTER? So we were using
class
class, and we are creating some object. In this object, I am going to be enter. This is the compile time. I am going to be give the values to them. See here, for example, if I am mentioning here, whether it is visible, I am writing what I am in the screen. So if I am doing like this, see, I am going to be execute. What is going to be happen? So in array, definitely it has to take only what? Integer values only. See this? These type of errors will occur in the time of compile time itself. If it is like this, what? So in order to go into the deep into the runtime, if once we got an error, the total execution come out and we need to try again. Once we are going to be get the compile time error itself, what is going to be happen? Definitely the programmer itself, we can change it and no need to enter into that. So it's not like that. For example, if I am going to be remove this one, I am going to be execute. So it's just simply prints integer array and double array and array characters. Characters, what are the characters? Hello characters are there. So we are mentioning in normal, it is not going to be showing single quotations. This is the simple meaning of a generic. So, sir, you said this is a compile time. For example, in a runtime, how it will be? For example, see this is also not a runtime, but we are assigning a values here. So here we are going to be the box example we said already discussed. We have one box class. What type of values that box is going to be contained? So we are going to be say that integer box, add and string box. In that we are going to be created two objects. One is an integer, another one is string. So see here and 10 and old. So if I execute this one, what is it? I'm going to integer value something I am going to get. What is something? So that is the 10 and the string value is follower. So here also, if I mention in the place of integer, for example, if I am going to be write some character a string, what is going to be happen again? So we are going to be getting error here. We are going to be get error here. So these are the see here exceptions in thread. What is the meaning called exceptions in Java? What is the meaning called exceptions? What is the meaning called exceptions? Where
errors
we are
due
going
to
to be use the
action.
exceptions? Errors due to action. So what actions we are going to be perform? Why the errors we are going to be identify? Errors ఎందుకు వస్తున్నాయి? Errors ఎందుకు వస్తాయి మామూలుగా జనరల్ గా? సో ఎర్రర్స్ వస్తే మనం జనరల్ గా మనం ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయండి. For example, if we are going, we know that here error is going to be come. Definitely, programmer has to change the code. But still, if the errors are occurring, why we need to handle the exceptions in the program?
Abnormal conditions may handle.
Because we are just invoking an expression into the program. The program may get a compile time or runtime values while the program is running. Not all times. Please be remember that not all the times the programmer is not going to be execute the program. For example, the user is going to be execute the program is not all time is giving the exact input. For example, may it typically giving something different values. What is going to be happen? So such time we need to handle these exceptions such that we can able to handle runtime errors in the program. So we have a try, catch, throw. We have exception handling. Yes or no? You remember? So these are the type naming conventions in the program game. That's why I open again here. So this is the box class program, which was we explained here, and the generic methods. Here we are going to see the wrapper classes. What are the wrapper classes means? It simply, please be remember that our network concept, we have a encryption and decryption. Same thing here we have a, what are the types here? Converting from primitive object to and primitive into an object and object into a primitive. What are the two terms? Yesterday we already discussed, I think. Just we have to be.
Outboxing.
So meaning called auto boxing and unboxing. So since J2SE 5.0, auto boxing and unboxing features converting primitives into objects and objects into primitives automatically. The automatic conversion of primitive objects is known as auto boxing and vice versa unboxing. So yesterday we discussed this one. And Java is an object-oriented programming language. So we need to deal with the objects many times, like collection, serialization, all those things. I think we discussed yesterday this also. We'll go. So here the serialization is another important topic. That is our end of the first unit topic. We need to know the concept of serialization. We will discuss today itself. So these are the users of wrapper classes, synchronization, and Java. What are the where it will be available in Java means Java util package it is going to be available. We have a collection of frameworks. These are the types you are going to be used for this. Then what is the auto boxing? And we saw some example program for this. So how it will be done by the compiler itself. What is implicitly and explicitly? Remember, implicitly and explicitly means the programmer has to write a code for converting. For explicitly, for implicitly, internally compiler is going to be done. So please be if I wrong there. Explicitly means programmer has to write a code. Implicitly means compiler itself it's take place for the conversion. In three places, the value of a is the value of a and I and j equal to 20. So that is. Then what is this immutable things in Java? What is immutable things means? It is I already told you to remember the concept of what a static value. Static values how we are going to be remember. Same way here we are going to be remember. Number 36. Please mute your mic. So how the static values, even though some of expression is going to be trying to change the value of an static values, but at last when we are going to be print the values of static, it gives a same value. Static values never change. The same concept also here. The wrapper class, the first one in Java, immutable class is a class which once created its content cannot be changed. On same concept, immutable objects are objects whose state cannot be changed once constructed. What is the meaning of constructed? We have constructor and destructor. What is the meaning called constructor? Can anyone say that? Constructor. What is constructor? Number 36. What is constructor? "46, 56." What is a constructor?
It is used to initialize objects, sir.
Without creating an object, automatically constructor will create an object. Please be remember that automatically the constructor will create an object for the class. So wrapper classes are made to be immutable due to the following advantages. What are the advantages? Since the state of immutable objects cannot be changed once they are created, they are automatically synchronized. Immutable objects are automatically thread safe. The overhead caused due to the use of synchronization is avoided. What is the synchronization? Synchronization. What is the meaning called synchronization? Why we need a synchronization? So simple. So in general, we are going to be
Sir.
only. Okay. Now, when the concept of multi-threading concept is come, so threading is we are going to be operate one at a time. That is one process at a time, or one simple program or simple instruction we are going to be execute that we can call a single thread. So we have a concept of multi-thread. The concept of synchronization. So due to, for example, two threads needs a process the same time. So what is going to be happen? So the operating system concepts, all those things comes here. What is a deadlock, mutual exclusion, synchronization, all those things. What is this? What are those? So when we need to run one process, definitely we need some resources help. If all the resources are catched by the process, if some process need to run, but we don't have any resources free to complete this job. So that time what is going to be the same resource is going to be held by the different process or different threads. But that time it is going to be happen. Simply in general, what is internet? For example, I was doing something on my screen. What is happened? It is going to be struck. For example, Word, PPT, and Excel or whatever things I was opened 3 at a time. Sometimes it is going to become a downside, not not running. So what we are going to be do that time? They're simply refreshing. Why we want to do the refresh? Why we want to do the refresh? Why we want to do the refresh? Once the refresh is coming, what is going to be happen? Internally, the same applications which are going to be run, it may needs the different. For example, ఏం చేశారంటే మీరు మూడిట్లోనూ టైప్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. బట్ సంథింగ్ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్, టైపింగ్ అనేది ప్రాబ్లం అయింది, కీబోర్డ్ వచ్చే రిసోర్సెస్ అనేది మూడిట్లకి 3 అప్లికేషన్స్ కి స్ప్లిట్ చేయడం ప్రాబ్లం అయిపోయింది. That time we are going to be all the process is going to be in struct. That time we are going to be refreshed. That particular where the process was stuck, the struct will be removed from that. That is a simple synchronization meaning. Then another one, see that what is another once create the state of wrapper class immutable objects cannot be changed. So there is no possibility them to getting into an inconsistent state. So if the values are going to be changed, we may feel that where it is going to be stored, and we need another extra variable to store all those. Once it is mutable, it is never changed, means it is no need of no inconsistency in states. If the value is the same state only, it is not going to be transferred to any other. Then another one, the reference to the immutable objects can be easily shared or cached without having a copy or clone them. So without having a copy, so why we need to make a copy? For example, for this I have a wonderful explanation for this. What is the meaning called assignment operators? What are the assignment operators are there? Have you remember assignment operators?
Yes, sir.
Or else can you tell me, for example, I am writing here, everyone seeing, it is visible to everyone. C equal to A plus B, then A equal to A plus B. What is the meaning of these two? C equal to A plus B, and once again I will make it clear.
A will be added to B and result is assigned to the C, sir.
For example, see here, I am writing C equal to A plus B and A equal to A plus B. So what is the concept here? One is where it is also an expression and it is also an expression. This one we can write. The second one we can write A plus is equal to B also. This is known as assignment approach. So what is the concept in behind both this? So in both place we are going to be perform the operation of A and B only. But in first place, the value of the addition of A and B I am going to be stored separately. Here the value of, in the second one, value of the addition of A and B, the value is going to be stored again in the A itself. So what happened at the last time, if I want to print A, B, C, in the first case we are going to get A value what we given, that only is coming, B value what we given, that only coming, and C value the addition of A and B is going to be coming. In the second place, at last we are going to be print the thing, what is going to be happen? So we lost the value of A, for that we need to secure again A. But in immutable concept you never need to keep anything, because so immutable concept the values never change. So that is the concept of here. So please be remember that concept. Then the best use of wrapper classes as a immutable objects is as the key of a map. So here also we are going to be use keys to identify the objects. And also due to immutability of wrapper classes, instance of the what 55, what do you want? We have any problem? 55. Someone is asking to share what, if you want to share your screen. Okay. So last one is also due to immutability of the wrapper classes instance of the purpose of catching the facility to share. So if you have a dozen places in your application, for example, you have a lot of applications, that you need to have an integer instance with the value of 42. Then we can use only what we have to. So here is missing. Use instance ahead. We are going to be use the instance ahead. Instance instead of. So we have a number of applications are there. Where do we need to keep all those applications? If not possible, we need to make all those applications objects into a immutable concept. So see the example. What is going to happen? See a simple Java program. The class is demo. Here we have a public static void. That's only this is a main. That's only we are going to be store demo.java. So we are going to be create an integer. So what is int or integer? This is the wrapper class. In previous we are just simply write a small int. For that we are going to be write a capital int here. So that is a wrapper classes. That I am going to be write. The value of wrapper classes, the I value is 20. So here I am going to be use one method. The what operate of I is a method. First I am going to be print system.out.println 20, as usual 20 print over. After that, in the class itself, I am going to be use one method, that is operate method. So I am going to be pass the I value, the 20 to this operate method. Where is the operate definition? Where is the definition of operator? See here, this one. Private static void operate of integer I. So this I, the 20 is going to be come to here. Then here we have the definition of method is I equal to I plus 1. What is the value of I now? 20 plus 1. That is 21. But once we back to the method, ఈ method లో నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చేసిన తర్వాత again see here I am going to be print the value of system.out.println of I. So if I am going to be print the value of I here, the value as usual 20 only, it is not going to be changed. Once you print inside the method, the value is 21 only, but you can come out of this method. Inside this, the value of I is 20 only. The both places, see this, I have mentioned a comment, see that value does not change so that the object is immutable. This is a wrapper class I am going to use, capital INT. So this is the meaning of wrapper classes. So here we are going to be know about what is wrapper classes, how we are going to be do, and what are the advantages, and one simple example for wrapper classes. Then the concept of what is concept of serialization. So we already discussed in the wrapper classes itself. Wrapper classes, one of the advantages is the serialization. What is the serialization? We already come across that one. What do you understand that? Where we saw already about this serialization. What is that serialization? So in wrapper classes, we are going to be do some object to primitive to object, object to primitives. In serialization, we are going to be, name of serialization is simple is we are going to be make the streams. Serialization in Java mechanism writing the states of objects into a byte stream. Objects into a byte stream. Streams we are going to be mentionly, it's mainly used in Hibernate, RMI and JPA and EJB and JMS technologies. These are the technologies. So can anyone say that Hibernate? Okay, one of the that is a concept. Then what is a RMI? So these are the words we come across in Java. RMI, JPA and EBG and EJB and JMS. What is RMI? Remote method invocation. What is this remote method invocation? So already we discussed one of the concepts. So when we have a client and server, so how the server is going to be respond based upon the client request remotely. What is the meaning called remotely means? So all the clients are in not in a one place, they are going to be request the server. The clients are in different places. One server they are going to be touched remotely. Then how it is going to be respond? That is. Then what is the JPA? What is the meaning called JPA? Java Persistence API. What is the meaning called API? Application Programming Interface. Java Persistence Application Programming Interface. Then what is EJB? What is EJB? EJB. Enterprise Java Beans. Enterprise Java Beans. Then what is JMS? Java Message Server. These are the it's like a simply applications. The technologies and nothing but applications, programs. In these programs, we are going to be use the byte stream. What is the meaning called a stream? Again, here mentioned a byte stream. What is the meaning called a stream? Stream means one after one. We don't have any breaks in between. Stream. For example, we have a river stream. What is the meaning called river? River is going to be start. It's streaming like it is continuously stream. So here also once we have creating that, where we are going to be who is going to be create an object here. So from primitive to object is going to become. So that is one of the auto boxing technology in the wrapper class. So once this object is creating, so the streams of bytes we are going to be create, then it is mainly used some applications. What, how it is going to be do? So again here also, the concept, there we have an auto boxing and unboxing. Same here also we have a serialization, and another operation is a byte stream to an object is not as a deserialization. Please we remember these two terms. For wrapper classes we have primitive to objects and object to primitives. In serialization we have object to byte stream and byte stream to object. So byte object to byte stream is known as a serialization, and byte stream to object is known as deserialization. The serialization and deserialization is performs the platform independent. It means we can serialize an object in a platform and deserialization in the different platform. So simple meaning is we already know familiar with the RM. Remote method invocation, what is going to be? So client is requesting him his own dependent system. The server is dependent to only one system. Only it is going to be depend on your system. No, it is an independent. So maybe we may request from any system. The server is going to be respond. Server is not going to be a one place. So that's why we can deserialization can be performed in a different way. Simple we have sending a request, and that is going to be converted into a converted, that is sent to a server. Then the server is going to be sent back to system. What is the concept of serialization and deserialization? That was the concept. So for serializing an object, we can call write object. Serialization means the meaning is converting from object to byte stream. That is known as write an object. Then that will be in the output stream class. Object output stream. So this is the name of the method. So that's why we are written in the full name in one place itself without any space. The same deserialization is a read object. That method in object input stream. Same like a printf and scanf are there, no? There is system.out.println like is there. No? Same here also we have. One is a write object, another one is a read object. The write object in output stream. So something we are going to be write, that is the output. Something we need to read, that is the input. So that is read. Please be remember easily that word. So then this is the concept of object to stream and stream to object. That is it. It's mainly used to travel object in one state to another state in network. It is known as marshalling. The concept of marshalling. So one state to another state, how we are going to be transfer. Then, so we have this serialization in Java dot in IO. IO means input output dot serialization interface. Then serializable is a maker interface, has no data member and method. It is used to mark Java classes so that the object of these classes may get a certain capability. The clonable and remotes are known as marker interfaces. So how we are going to be these remote method invocation or Hibernate concepts, how we are going to be get the request from the clients, or how the server is going to be respond based upon the client request. It is going to be making all those things. For example, your history is going to be stored in your browser. One simple example, your history is going to be stored in your browser. When you are going to be back, it's automatically that back command is going to be execute, then it back to the previous page. So the simple meaning is you are requesting the previous one. The clonable, the meaning means it is automatically storing in your place when you are going to be give back. So it is also a tree structure. When the tree structure is come, the example of tree structure we were talking about the browser. One of the application is browser we said. If you remember, you can easily note down. So it must be implemented by the class whose objects we want to persist. So which object definitely we want, we need to persist. Then only we can know that. Then see that the string class and all the wrapper classes implements in the Java interface by default. So how we are going to be mention this one means we simply import a package that is java.io.serializable interface. So see that one example here we have. So import java.io.serializable public class student implements serializable. So we are going to be, what is this implements concept, where it will come? Where we are going to be use this keyword
Inheritance.
inheritance. So what is the meaning called inheritance? So here the student class is going to be get the properties of the serializable interface. So something properties we are going to be get, that is it. We are going to be get the properties from the base class. So we are going to be get some properties over there, then integer ID and public ID. So here we written something student, we are going to be pass something student ID and student name. That thing I am going to be print this. So what is the meaning, why we are using this? What is the meaning called this? This is a keyword. What is the use of this one? So when we are running this program in a multiple times, at that particular time, what the value of ID, what the value of name, it is going to be refer the present. So that's why only this is a keyword. It refers always the current object. Have you remember that? This is a keyword. It always refers the current object. So which was hold. Why again I am going to be using a current object means because always these variables are going to be holds. What type of values hold the variables? It always holds the recent values. So what the recent values I am going to be print for this? We have concept of variables, but here the data will be in an object form. So that's why only it refers, this is a keyword, refers the current objects. See this, in the above example, student class implements the serializable interface. Now its objects can be converted into a string by using, once we import that is implements from the serializable, it is automatically this object is going to be a string. So we already discussed. So one is input stream and another one is output stream. What are the functions in output stream? Output stream function is there. Write or read. We have two methods, no? Write object and read object. What will be in the output? Write object. So what the object output stream class, we have a write primitive data types and the data and Java objects to an output stream. Only object that supports the java.input output serializable interface. Serializable interface can be written to string. So see that the word written, the word used to write. So we have a method called write, no? So that method is usually here. So as usual, we said that we have a constructor way we can do and normal way we can also do. So in the constructor we can do public object output stream. In bracket we have object stream out. It throws the input output exception. What is the meaning of this line? This is one programming line. What is the meaning means? It's create an object output stream that writes a specific output stream. So what is the meaning called this serializable? We are going to be create an object to output stream. We are going to be strings. So in order to make these objects into a streams, we are going to be use output stream 1, input stream 1. So input stream we are going to be read it. In output stream we are going to be write it. That is a concept. So it is write the specified output streams. So these are the output streams. General, that is the constructor way. This is general output ways. What importing methods we want to import that one. So public final void. What is the final is what? Again, it is a keyword. Final. We are writing object output. It throws the IO exceptions. What is the meaning of these ones? Write a specific object into a object output stream. Where we are mentioning a specific object. So public void flush through the flushes the current output stream. So we have to get back these streams. How to get back this output stream? So in one time we are going to get a specific one, and another one flush is going to be used for a current stream, and another one is public void close throws input output. It closes all the current output streams. It closes all the current output streams. So if you remember the files concept, it is something related to this files concept. F read, F open, F close, all those things. The same concepts also. Then what is this an input streams? So in output stream we have a write method. In input stream, what we are going to be do? We are going to be read from the streams. Read from the stream means we are going to be stream to an object. Stream to an object. The object input stream deserialization concept. Deserialization, that is the concept now. In serialization we have two. One is a serialization means object to streams, byte streams. Deserialization means byte stream to object. So object primitive data type written by using the out. So where it was written means by using the output stream. We have data in output stream. So once this written function is happened, that is the return method is happened, we are going to be get the output as a stream. By using this stream, we are deserializing and we are going to be get back to the objects. So here we have a constructor in point of view. We have an object output, object input stream. It throws the input output exception. The meaning of this means it's create an object input stream that reads from the specific input stream, specified input stream in a constructor way. This one. In a general methods, in importing methods, what are the methods available? Again, final. So what is meaning of final previous one? It's going to be a specific one. No? Here it is going to be read an object from the input stream. Then closes means it closes all the input stream. There we have a 3 functions. Here we have a 2 methods. Sorry, not functions. We have methods. Because Java we are going to be calling the methods. So the final keyword is used to read here from the input streams. There we are going to be, again we have a 2 types there. One is a specific one, another one is current one we are going to use. Here we don't have any such type of things. Then public void close throws input output function. It is used to close all the input streams. So this is about wrapper classes. Then what is this concept of serialization? These are just a final of what we learned from this serialization. The serialization is the process of converting from object into a sequence of bytes, which can be persistent to a disk or database. So, sir, we said that we are converting from object to streams and stream to object. What is the use of these objects? So streams means I already said it is a continuous flow. So how we are going to get the flow? It's simple, nothing but we are. So again we are going to be say that we have a disk and database. So where it is available in disk and database? It is going to be available in computer. For example, we are going to be stored. If we want to store the data in a computer, what we have to do? So what the data can understand by the computer? Again, zeros and one. Here the streams is nothing but we can the sequence of bits is going to be stored. So see here, the reverse process we can know the deserialization. This is the simple diagram. Is the diagram is visible to everyone? Can someone respond?
Yes, sir. It's
Diagram
listed.
is see
Yes,
that
sir.
object stream of bytes. For example, this is the serialization
File,
concept. We are going to
database,
object
memory.
to serialization. So we have a file, database, and memory. So these are the concepts where why we are using a file and database and memory in order to store. The stream of data is going to be stored in these places. Once we are going to be perform the deserialization operation, the streams, that database to streams, then it is going to be run. Why we are doing such type of activities again? Because the objects are a high level language, the streams are low level language. The objects can understand by the human, that is a programmer or user can understand. The streams of data cannot understand by the programmer or the user. So that's why in yesterday concept I told the compiler, when I given a definition, converting from high level language to low level language, vice versa. What is the meaning called vice versa means? So we are writing in a program and we are giving an input in a high level. At final, we are going to be get an output also high level language. For example, enter your name. So if you are enter your name, it is going to be read by the computer by zeros and ones. Once if it is gives again an output as a zeros and ones, then we can call it as a high level language to low level language only. But the compiler is duty is not only converting from high level to low level, it is going to be used as same as from low level to high level language also. Sir, you said name. Okay, simply we will store the name and we are getting that. Sir, how it will be done in conversion means? For example, okay, you said name as usual, it is going to be come back. For example, you are performing some equations, 10 plus 20. So 30 has to come, no? Is the computer is going to be understand by what is 10 and what is 20? No, again 10 is going to be converted into a bits and 20 is going to be converted into a bits. So in computer level, what is we have a operations now. One of the operator bit level manipulations. Which one we will do? Bit level manipulation. One of the operator is there.
Bitwise.
Bitwise operators. So even though we are giving an operands as a numbers, it is going to be converted into a binary form. Then it is going to be perform binary operations such as binary. So binary addition or binary subtraction. So only binary addition and subtraction. Why we are specifically in stick? So there is a meaning. So we can take any operation in a mathematical. It includes an addition and subtraction mainly. If you take any multiplication, definitely there is a concept of addition. There is a division, definitely there is a concept of subtraction. So these two are main basic concepts. That's why only in the starting itself I am going to be given an example of addition and subtraction. So whatever mathematical operation, the basic operations are included in the, we can take any big form. So basic operations are zeros and ones. Again, that's why only in general we are going to be talk about the binary addition and subtraction only. Mainly we are going to be see. So here the subtraction is nothing but what we are doing. Negation values we are going to be considered and we are going to be performed. So understand the concept of this serialization. See a class must implement the, so how we are going to be do this implementation means we have a serializable interface is there. We are going to be implement to the other class. So it is Java.io package. It is available serializable marker interface and add the serializable here to the class implements it. So Java provides a serializable application program interface encapsulated under Java.io package for serializable and deserializable objects, which includes maybe we have serializable and we have external and object input output stream, object output streams. That is input stream and output stream. So what is the meaning called input stream? What the function is what the method is there in input stream? Read object. In output stream, we have a write object. In serializable, it is a package we are going to implement. Serializable, again we have an interface to implement to the our class. To implement to the our class. So the end of the first unit. So far we cover in the first unit. So I already said that we divide into two parts. One is the data structures, what are the basic concepts we are learning. And another part is generics and wrapper classes and concept of serialization. So linked list, stack, queue, maps, and generics, and generic classes and types of parameters. How we are going to implement these generic types and generic methods are there. What are the advantages of these generic methods? And what are the wrapper classes? What are the advantages of wrapper classes? Where we are going to be learn about auto boxing and unboxing. And the concept of serialization, where we are going to be learn about serialization and deserialization. So how to convert from object to byte stream and byte stream to object. These are the concepts. So far, you have any doubts? Please. So if you don't have any doubts, by tomorrow we will start the second unit. Or else, if are in a particular concept we need back. So we need something more from this topic. We need to understand. We can tell you can. We will discuss again one more class. Or else we can
Chala,
start
sir.
the second unit. Please, sir, tell me, sir.
Chala sir, this is Manas. Okay, absentees are 5, 13, 25, 27 also absent. He joined at 9:30 time. Okay, 28, 29, 31, 77, 80, 82. Who is number 27, guys? Respond.
Who is number 27?